We have a very busy week ahead of us, so I'm going to be doing some food prepping in the kitchen today. 5 days in a row this week, we are going to be driving at least an hour, a little over an hour, one way, so back and forth, 5 days in a row. Some of those days being gone early in the morning till late at night. That's going to mean a couple of meals eating out, which is not something we normally do, but to help us a little bit in the health department as well as in the budget department, I'm going to make some things from home, from scratch, that we can take with us to kind of bridge some of those gaps. First thing I'm going to make is going to be, wow, have I ever cracked an egg before? The first thing I'm going to make is going to be egg bites or egg, these are called egg muffins. I'm not really sure if there's a difference between that and egg bites. I am cutting the recipe in half because I'm probably the only one who's going to eat them. So, but they can be frozen. It says in the fridge 2 to 3 days or in the freezer. I don't remember, but a lot longer than that. So we're going to start with 5 eggs. All right, I'm using a dry measuring cup because my liquid one doesn't have a 1/8 mark. So I only needed 1/8 cup of milk because I'm cutting this in half. But this would be easy to not only make the full batch, but even like double it. So, but this is what I'm gonna do. And then we're just gonna add a little bit of salt. Feel free to add pepper too if you'd like, but I don't like pepper. Actually, I'm gonna add a little more than that. You can add in yours whatever you want. I'm just gonna do cheese and bacon. If you do like peppers and onions, I think you're supposed to saute them first, but I will have the recipe linked below for you. And I am just going to grease half of these because that's all we're going to need. I feel like I was having a harder time getting along the edges with that, so. I already had some cheese shredded up, and then I have some leftover bacon from just the other day, so I'm going to just break that up. You could chop it, but you know. I'm honestly now thinking, should I have just done the whole thing? Because if I eat 2 a day, I think this will be fine. One of the days I should be able to actually eat something if I want before I leave the house, because I don't have to leave too early. And we'll just add some cheese. I've never made these before. Let me know if you have. I know like egg bites and stuff is really popular. I don't really have a need usually to make stuff like this on the go. For on the go, I just make breakfast. I have fried eggs and toast for breakfast nearly every day. Probably could have just mixed the egg and milk in a measuring cup, and then I could have just poured it in, but I'm just gonna use this. And you wanna fill them, it said 3/4 of the way full. I got interrupted by a phone call while I was filming, so I'm not sure if I was in the middle of talking about something else. But I have been trying to get a hold of some people to take care of some things in our house, and they've been very slow to get things taken care of. So today's the day where I'm doing the thing that I hate, which is being a grown-up and making the phone calls to try to make it happen. So anyways, I got a return phone call, and so I got interrupted and I was like, I don't know where I was at, but that's all right. I know I'm not alone in not enjoying having to do those kinds of phone calls and grown-up stuff, especially when it takes multiple calls to get an answer. Like, you people not getting back to me is leaving this on my mental to-do list, so I'd appreciate being able to cross it off. I don't want to waste a drop of those lovely farm fresh eggs. We have been blessed with a wonderful hookup for some fresh eggs. One lady that we can buy them from for $3 a dozen, and then my husband has a client of his that has given us eggs. We've started giving her a little bit of cash too because we just feel bad, but she's just like, no, I've got so many. So super grateful. All right, so this is going in the oven at 350 for 20 minutes. All right, those are looking pretty good. We're gonna let these cool in the pan for a couple minutes before we take them out and let them cool completely before we store them away in the fridge or freezer. I'll start with the fridge and move them to the freezer depending on if I don't finish them all in the next couple days. All right, now we are going to bump this up to 400 and get working on our muffins. All right, we're gonna need to get these out so we have place for our muffins. Did I tell you we're making muffins? We're gonna make some blueberry muffins, hopefully. I gotta check my blueberry situation. Okay, not awful, but not great. I'm gonna say I didn't quite go good enough with the greasing. Then I'm gonna let these cool completely on that plate. And of course I'm gonna eat all of this little bit. I'm wondering if you could actually bake these in those paper liners. I don't see why not. Although I think the problem is just that I needed to grease that better. I will admit, cleaning that muffin tin was kind of annoying. So definitely make sure you grease your muffin tin better. All right, we're gonna mix up our dry ingredients for the blueberry muffins. We need 3/4 cup of sugar. And we need 1.5 cups of flour. Teaspoons of baking powder and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. All right, we're just gonna whisk that together. This recipe calls for 1/3 cup of vegetable oil. I am going to use coconut oil. I do not use vegetable oil at all. So I'm going to measure it, but also then melt it because coconut oil becomes liquid at a higher time. So I need to melt it as I go until I get to 1/3 cup. So I'll be back. Okay, so what I did, I just thought I'd mention this in case you also use coconut oil. I had to melt it, but then the glass was really hot and I don't want my egg to scramble. So I put it in the refrigerator for a little bit. It's still warm, but it's not, what's the word, hot. So I think it'll be fine. Plus my egg has been sitting out and getting warm. So we're going to add in 1 egg, and then we're going to fill the cup, or fill the line up to 1 cup with milk, which is going to probably be about 1/3 to 1/2 cup of milk. That'll also help to bring the temperature down a little bit, but you don't want it to be cold because then it'll harden back up, the coconut oil will. And we're going to add about 1.5 teaspoons of vanilla. Give that a whisk. I need to get myself a small whisk. I used to have one. It must have broke or something. I don't remember. And we're gonna add this to our dry ingredients. And it suggests to mix this with a fork, and of course making sure we're not over mixing the batter. It's gonna be a pretty thick batter. Can't remember if I've made these muffins before. I know I haven't shared them with you. But it was saved on my Pinterest board, so I may have, but there was a lot saved on there that I haven't made before, so I don't know for certain. Okay, don't want to over mix it, but I need to get that dry bits at the bottom there. We need about 1 cup of blueberries, and it says you can use a frozen or fresh. And we're gonna get 1 cup of berries, but I'm not sure if I have 1 cup of blueberries. I have this blend from Aldi. And it's got blueberries and cherries, sweet cherries, sour cherries, and strawberries. This is what you do when you don't make a plan for your life ahead of time and pick stuff up at the grocery store. I think we're gonna be all right. I'm gonna have to go find my nail brush to clean my fingernails because they are just, you know, those berries, they'll dye anything. Anything they come in contact with. All right, we're gonna fold in our blueberries. I would have just used a different berry. I think this would be good with strawberries, although frozen strawberries would be tough. You'd need to thaw them so you could cut them, I would imagine. Or sometimes you can cut them when they're a little bit frozen, but we had enough blueberries. All right, so for my muffin tin, I had a few paper ones left. I did grease them. And then I used a couple of silicone because that's, I didn't have enough paper. Because I'm gonna be eating these hopefully on the go. The paper ones will be really nice to have. I don't have to worry about bringing, you know, anything back. All right, let's get these filled up. Ooh, a little bit too much. I don't know if you guys can hear that out there, but we got some birds going nuts. I really want to get some bird feeders set up. I don't know why I'm struggling with this. It's a really thick batter. That might be why. I want to get some bird feeders set up because we have so many birds. I'll tell you what, these birds, they do not sleep. They will be out there sounding like they're having choir practice at like midnight. But I feel like if they're gonna come by, I should probably feed them. Maybe I can get them to hang out in a place where I can see them, you know? Y'all, I feel like this is a joke. Like I look like I've never done this before. I'm not sure why I'm struggling so much. Like what in the world is my problem? Well, the recipe says that these should be half full. As you can see, they're a little more than half full. But it's fine. We're gonna sprinkle a little sugar on top. If you had that fun little, what's it called? Like the, I don't know, there's that fun kind of sugar for desserts and stuff. That would be fun. But I don't, I just have sugar. I ain't even using regular sugar. I used to usually buy like organic sugar. But I've had this one in my pantry for a while and I want to use it up, you know, before it goes bad. Don't want to waste it. We're going to put these in the oven at 400 for 15 to 20 minutes. All right, so these are nice and cool. I think I'm going to put a layer of wax paper in between the two layers and then pop them in the freezer. And yeah, very easy. Just spray your muffin tin, or maybe I'm going to try my silicone cups or paper cups next time. But I kind of wish I had just done the full batch, but I didn't. It's all right. This will get me for like 3 days, and I think that's about the amount of days that I have to leave like early. So that'll work. All right, so I already gave one of them a try, and these are so good. So I'm just going to cover them now that they're nice and cool and put them in the fridge. But you could also freeze them. I'm going to put them in the fridge for the next few days, and then if there's any left, I'll freeze them. But I have a feeling I might eat these for like breakfast and then like a mid-afternoon snack. I'm going to be taking a few of these with us every day while we are on the go. So delicious. All right, well, it is quite a bit later, but I have a fun drink that I'm going to make, and I wanted to share it with you. I did a variety of versions of this and different flavor combos last summer, and I loved it. So maybe I'll share more of them with you throughout the spring and summer months. But I don't drink soda and I don't drink coffee, but I do enjoy fun drinks. So I've got quite a few, some varieties of this and some other things as well that I like to do. So I'm going to share it with you. So first off, I have this lime sparkling water. This one is from Aldi. This does not have any like artificial sweeteners either. So this is like not sweet at all. And I do drink these sometimes by themselves. Pineapple juice, which I love. It's so good for you. Great source of like vitamin C. It's got other stuff I can't remember. Great like for fighting sickness and stuff. But I always get one. This one is also from Aldi that is just pineapple juice. So there's natural sugars and a lot of it like just existing from the fruit, but there's 0 added sugars, and then heavy cream. So this is kind of like a take on, I think they're called like the dirty Coke kind of thing, where you add like cream to a soda, but this is my version. Now I'm only making one, and I don't know that I'm gonna be able to fit all of this in here. I might have to just keep adding to it as I'm drinking it. I kind of just mess with the ratios each time I make it. So I'm gonna just say, if you wanna make this, then kind of figure it out on your own. Right now I'm starting with about half of the sparkling water and about matching that with the pineapple. I will say you need to be mindful because when you add, getting a spoon ready, and I should probably get a straw ready, because when you add heavy cream, it will start bubbling. So if I had a jumbo cup, that would be great, but I just have like regular sized cups. So that's all right. I bought this just for this. So let me open this. Okay, it didn't actually fizz on me. Maybe it's a different combination that makes that happen. These are kind of tall straws for this, but it'll work. And I just kind of decide as I go. As far as if I need to add anything else. Actually, I have got my straw I can stir with. Okay. So amazingly refreshing. I was gonna add something else, but I think I like it just as is. So here's my version. And there's no sugar except for what is naturally occurring in the pineapple juice. I kind of started discovering these when I had to cut back on sugar. Actually, I had to eliminate it from my diet for a while, including artificial sweeteners. I can have it back in my diet, but it definitely hurts. My body hurts when I have too much. So just thought I would share this drink with you. Well, that is going to wrap up today's video and anything I'm doing in the kitchen. I thought about making another thing, but I didn't. So that's going to do it for today's video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe for more home lifestyle content, recipes, all sorts of things. Subscribe if you're new. I would love to have you be a part of my little YouTube family. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.